So long story short, you think, what are you going to do? And having been an entrepreneur all my life, kind of like Robert Kiyosaki said, once you know, you just can't get a job. I mean, obviously, you got to do what you got to do, but in your mind, you're going towards that entrepreneurship, business building, self-employed type scenario. And long story short, I started thinking, what can I do, right? Do I get into real estate? At the time, it was a good idea, back in the late 90s. Do I buy a franchise? Do I want to start cleaning the floors and flipping the burgers and invest all my money and hopefully get paid to be able to have a McDonald's franchise? What did I want to do? And long story short, someone introduced me to this concept of network marketing. At the time, it was a telecommunications company, and the #1 earner was making about $1 million a month. And because I was very successful, young, cocky, confident, etc., etc., I said, show me the picture of the guy. I want to see this guy. And long story short, I went at it full steam ahead. And like a typical male, I was uncoachable, unteachable. I knew it all. I was going to show them how to do it. I was going to do it better than them. And failed miserably. I mean, even though I had success because I could recruit a lot of people, I did not have the success that network marketing really brings about, which is building a massive team and building that residual income. So it was a pruning process, and finally found a mentor a couple years later, a gentleman that was earning 6 figures a month, not a year, but a month. And I said, what are you doing? What are you doing that I'm not? And long story short, he told me, Freddie, there's 3 qualities you got to bring to the table. Number 1, you've got to have a burning desire to succeed. I was like, I have that. Number 2, you got to be coachable. I'm like, yeah, but what else do you got to do? Coachable. That means if there's a system in place and somebody's successful and they're following a certain system, you got to follow that system. Otherwise, play at your own risk type deal. And the third, you got to take action, and to be very successful, guys, you got to take massive action. If you follow me, if you Google me and you follow me, I'm like a ping pong all over North America. I've been in Puerto Rico, Phoenix, Arizona, California. This whole week I was in Atlanta. I mean, you just got to get to work. I'm not saying you have to do that, but you got to get to work. You don't get to the top just by hanging out at home and sending emails out or posting stuff on Facebook. I mean, that's part of one of 100 things you do, but it's not how you do it, right? So I'm excited you guys are here today. My intent is, well, let me finish my story. So, long story short, anybody get affected by the economy here late 2008, 2009, or currently? Yeah? Well, we did too. Once I met that mentor, we ended up having a multiple 6-figure income and did very well in this industry. And we were promoting a functional beverage, which, late 2008, 2009, people, after having incredible results, decided that they didn't need to buy it anymore. And as a result, because it was a luxury, not a necessity, and people were cutting the fat, our income went dramatically down. And long story short, for about a year and a half, we were trying to find what do we do, right? This economy, guys, has changed the way people perceive things, the way people buy things, obviously their pockets, right? Everything's changed. So people don't do the same thing they do or purchase the same way or go about things the same way, most people don't, as they did 2 or 3 years ago. It's just different, right? And so about 13 months ago, I met a gentleman by the name of Nick Sarnicola, who was living in Miami. My friend Matt Ward told me, hey, you got to meet this guy Nick. And I'm like, who's Nick? He's like, the founder of Visalus. I'm like, I've heard about Visalus. I don't care for it. Long story short, he was persistent enough to get me in front of Nick. Met Nick, and I don't know about you guys, but sometimes you meet someone and you come with a certain perception or you come with a certain attitude, I guess. And I kind of went with an open mind because you always got to look at stuff with an open mind, but I kind of had my guard up. I was like, and I don't know, when you sit with someone and the energy, I don't know, you feel like your gut feeling, you get a good gut feeling. And Nick, as soon as I sat down with him, it was like, I was like, I like this guy, just in my mind, I didn't tell him that. In my mind, thinking, I can do business with this person, I can work with this person. And so he told me his story, what was going on with the company, how the first 4 years they failed, they tried everything, they had success, they failed, and whatever. And long story short, he told me how they reinvented themselves about 2 years ago, when the company had hit rock bottom, was doing about $600,000 a month, and how they were growing. They had double-digit growth consistently for, at the time, it was like 8 months. And all the people he had helped, not only qualify for a BMW, but become 6-figure earners, and he was showing me everything, and I'm like, I like this, And long story short, he told me he'd partner with me, mentor me, and whatnot, and I was liking that, And so we decided, I got back home, told my wife, she thought it was a horrible idea. So I didn't get going right away. Got on the challenge. That day I signed up, got on the challenge, lost 23 pounds, 5 inches off my waist the first 6 weeks. People were asking me, Freddie, what are you doing? How can I get it? Called me up one day and I said, let's do it. You know, I didn't get going when we first met, but got going a couple weeks later. And you know, first week we called about 100 people qualified for the BMW that first week. That month we helped 7 people qualify for the car. So as you can imagine, it was just not us telling everybody, told you so. There was 7 other people really excited and fired up. And nothing, it's been about 13 months. Our team spans all across North America. You know, there's over 200 people that have qualified for the black BMW in our team. That means they're earning an extra $1,000 to $3,000 a month part-time at least. And that's exciting, right? Because if you're going to do something like this, you don't want to be the only one raising your hand, right? You want to have a lot of people go with you. And so it's very validating. You might ask yourself, well, why? Well, guys, we've got a message that resonates with a lot of people. The whole challenge message, people are comfortable sharing it, okay? They just are. You know, if you're an analytical engineer, stay-at-home mom, college kid, sales professional, I don't care what your background is. If you join a gym, if you join Weight Watchers, if you sign up for a marathon, I don't know, you join a soccer league or something like that, you're more than likely going to call your friends and tell them, hey, I just signed up for this, want to do it with me, right? So the challenge message is, hey, I just took on a 90-day challenge, want to do it with me. It's like, it creates curiosity because people are like, what's this challenge all about, right? And all of a sudden it opens doors. And so we've got a system, which I'm going to share with you how you promote this challenge and stuff. But when the systems follow, guys, success is inevitable, I'm telling you. And that is why we're having so much success in our team, not just in South Florida, but all across North America. And guys, the good news is that, you know, the timing right now is perfect. I mean, Miami's wide open, Fort Lauderdale's wide open, West Palm Beach is wide open, Florida, Puerto Rico, everything. There's not one market that I'd say is saturated yet. Yet, we are the #1 fastest growing challenge in America and network marketing or home-based business in America today. For the past 22 months, we've had double-digit compounded growth, month after month after month, consistently compounded, guys. We've gone from $600,000 a month in sales to over $34 million last month. The growth we have in a down economy, recession, where people are being laid off, companies are shutting down, you know, it's not happening. I mean, name me like 5 or 10 companies that are doing that. It's not happening, right? Especially not in network marketing. So we are the company everybody's watching. We are in that state of growth that everybody says one day, eventually, there'll be, you know, that momentum. We're in it right now. And my intent today is to share with you why and how you can participate in it and really capitalize on that. Because guys, we're on a march to $1 billion. By March of 2012, we'll be doing our forecast, and really where we're going, we'll be an $80 million a month company. That's a $1 billion run rate, guys. There's no company in network marketing in the nutrition field that's done it in North America alone, and those are the only 2 countries we're at, right? US and Canada. So it's very powerful what we have here, guys, and you guys can definitely participate in that. Health and wellness, guys, is huge. I mean, from a health perspective, guys, let's face it, I mean, I'm going to talk about the obesity epidemic, but it's pretty serious. And financially, we all know that, you know, everybody's looking for a way to either supplement their income, replace their income, or far surpass it. And more than ever, people are willing to do something about it, where before they're kind of waiting around. A lot more people are willing to do something about it because they know it's not going to come. It's not going to come in the mail, right? You've got to do something. So let's get started. You know, our team is exploding, like I said. You know, it's just nuts what's happening. It's not just our team, because I know there's people from other teams here. It's not just our team, it's the company in general. You know, Caesar, before we got started, asked how many people here are new to network marketing. And more than half the room raise your hand. Most of the people that we have having success in our team, guys, they've never done network marketing before. So number 1, the message really resonates with a lot of people. People are comfortable. Number 2, we've got a system that most people feel comfortable doing. And number 3, you know, I mean, people are looking, right? They're ready, willing, and able to do something. So there we go. Now, our whole system, guys, and I'm going to elaborate on this as we go, our whole program, when you get started, revolves around the Getting Started training. How many here have seen the Getting Started training video before? Wow. Not everybody. Cool. Awesome. Well, guys, that is it. You know, I mean, if all I did was play that video and end the training today, that's all you need to know. That's it. Because the massive success we've had is this. It's in English, Spanish, and French. So there's no excuses for most people in South Florida. That's it. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to share. So what I'm going to do today is not something, you know, what I'm going to share today is not something you need to know. You know, it's not something you need to repeat, but this is it. That whole training shows you how to become a director in 7 days. Our whole business model, from a business perspective, is all about creating directors, which we call stars. If it's done within the 30 days, we promote 7 rising stars. And then if you help enough people get there, become a star, you get your car. So the whole program that we have is called Stars and Cars. Star, why is it important? Because, guys, let's face it, most people do more for recognition and reward than they do for money, right? Will we all agree? Most people do. So our first recognition or pin is called Rising Star Director. So everybody wants to get that out of the way. Number one. Number two, it's where most people get their money back. So wouldn't we all agree if you get started, you pay $4.99, you know, you're excited, you're thinking, the first thing you're thinking though is, I'm going to get my money back. You know, Rising Star Director. That's where you get most, if not everything. Okay? And then help enough people get that, boom, right? You get the car. Now, the other component is the events. This is what we would consider a local success training. Regional trainings are coming up, and I'll give you the calendar later on in February. And then our national convention is in March. I will tell you, when I got started, I asked Nick, give me one advice. Give me one advice you'd give me to explode this business. And one of the reasons we took off so fast is that he told me, Freddie, there's a regional training in Jacksonville this Saturday, and it was like a Tuesday when we met. He said, if I were you, I'd rent a van, and I'd load it up, and get people there. And that's what I did. You know, what I did was I got people to see it beyond me, hear other stories, and boom, my business took off. Because I wasn't the only crazy one, right? Everybody that left there, I didn't have to tell them, isn't this great? No, they're already gone, right? They just might need some third-party validation when they talk to people, but they knew what they had their hands on, okay? So that's our whole business